Africa Day celebration. I hope that you'll be able to find time to do some activity by yourself or with friends and family on this day. Africa Day, May 25th, is very important. You have to keep it in mind. I'm sure if it was February 24th, everyone would be running around sending gifts here and there, right? Someone created it, and the whole world is so crazy about February 24th. We have to reflect and celebrate Africa Day, May 25th. It's very important that we, in an effort to empower Africa, that we must continuously generate useful information for our population. We must continuously celebrate what we achieve and reflect on what didn't go well and how it can be improved. By the way, just to inform those of you who may not be aware of Africa Day, what is it? Africa Day actually is celebrated on the 25th of May, so it's an annual event. It was first celebrated in 1963 in Addis Ababa, during the when the Organization of African Unity, the OAU, was created, which is now AU. So after having achieved the milestone of abandoning apartheid in South Africa, colonialism, so Africa Day was created on May 25th, with South Africa actually being the last country at the time to join the OAU, which is now the AU. So what is the intent to celebrate Africa Day? The intent is to celebrate and acknowledge the successes of the AU in combating apartheid and having it abolished. So that was a great achievement. But we must also now acknowledge, and I know some of you are not very enthusiastic about the AU anymore, because since the abolishment of apartheid, the AU has been kind of in slumber and behaving as if nothing else is happening in the continent. We have rotating presidencies every 6 months. They rotate from one president to another, and there's really not a lot happening. In fact, the AU has not done much in terms of averting and resolving conflicts in the continent. But yet, I think that we still have to celebrate. They've done some things, so let's not just rubbish it. It's always, we at Empower Africa believe that by talking about the issues that we need to improve, you can turn things around. So the AU still has a lot to do. Let's count on it. One of the reasons why we have to celebrate is the African Continental Free Trade Area that was initiated in 2018, and the AU has been fighting hard to see that this goes into action. So we must celebrate that, okay? We know that as of today, I think we have about 22 countries that have ratified. That's a big achievement. 54 out of 55 countries participated in creating this agreement. So far, 22 have ratified. So this is a cause for celebration. And don't be worried by the fact that we've had a postponement of the launch date that was initially slated for July 1st, 2020, because of COVID-19, and that has impacted movements everywhere in the world, including the African continent. So this launch has been postponed to a later date. But still, we have to celebrate. So I invite you to join me at ENN, Empower Africa Now, and celebrate. Okay? So what are some of the things that we should be celebrating? There's a lot happening in the area of biomedical technology. Several countries are leading innovations. You have Rwanda in the robotics area, so using robots to screen for coronavirus. You have Morocco still in robotics, using them to enforce social distancing measures and so on and so forth. Still in the biotech, you have Senegal coming up with a simplified test kit for COVID-19. So there's a lot happening. Madagascar, COVID organics, and so on and so forth. We also have areas in policy decision making that we should celebrate. You have, for example, the governor of Cross River State in Nigeria, our African giant, governor firing the tax commission and creating a different one that is called the Anti-Tax Commission to be able to implement a policy of no tax for small businesses like salon owners, people who buy and sell things, little businesses around. So that is a policy decision that empowers the population in that state, and there's a lot more that we have to celebrate. And by the way, subscribe so you don't miss any information that we are putting out there. I'm sure you are amazed by what we can do, and I just urge you to continue encouraging those around you. Let our governments out there make conditions for investment more friendly to attract businesses. There's going to be a post-COVID-19 economy, so we must align our policies to these things to improve the situation of the people in the continent. So this is not an exhaustive list of innovations in the continent. I must say there is a lot, so why not help us announce some of the great things that are happening in your community by sending us an email, info@empowerafricanow.com. Let us compile some of the great things that we haven't mentioned here in a publication next time. So at this time, I just want to say that while I end this video, there's a big initiative that Empower Africa Now will be taking on, and we'll be announcing it. You will see more in our write-ups. We actually think that it is time for the AU going forward, the African Union going forward, has to create what we call an African task force on food and drug regulation. The AU needs to create an African task force on food and drug regulation. We will be providing details of what such a task force will do and how we would have to lobby to make this happen. Stay tuned in the subsequent publications and videos. I urge you to subscribe and to share this video widely so we may reach the intended audience and create some impact. Happy Africa Day 2020. Love you all.